More Rogue One details and leaks have found their way onto the internet, and today we have some really exciting developments. This news has been revealed to us by MakingStarWars.net, who have had a lot of insider knowledge for some time now. Of course, before we start, be wary of spoilers revolving around a sequence in the film and a surprise involving the Death Star. Again, a quick reminder, as with all leaks, there is a possibility they are fake, so just keep that in mind. So the leak goes as follows. In Rogue One, we are supposed to see kyber crystals, which we are all aware is a component in a lightsaber that helps produce the blade. The leak states that the Empire is actually present on the tropical planet seen in the trailer for Rogue One, mining for kyber crystals, as they are one of the last remaining pieces needed in order to power the most deadly part of the Death Star, the super laser. It is said that the Death Star is nearly operational at the time of Rogue One, and that this is the last remaining piece in order for the weapon to become fully functional. Funny enough, in the cancelled Season 6 for Star Wars The Clone Wars, there was a planned series of episodes that were supposed to be based around Palpatine collecting crystals for the Death Star. In the episodes, Palpatine was said to be searching for not just regular kyber crystals, but massive ones, as to produce the laser for the Death Star. In Rogue One, the rebels supposedly become aware of this, and attempt to stall the Empire's final production phase of the superweapon, in order to allow them enough time to commence the operation to steal the plans to the Death Star. In the trailer for Rogue One, the crates that we see are supposedly filled with these crystals that will be used to power the Death Star, and this is why we see the now confirmed Imperial transport ships on the planet as well. The transports are there to collect the crystals and transport them back to the Death Star, where they can be integrated into the weapon. It is also a possibility that the search for the crystals by the Empire is not exclusive to the tropical planet, but others as well. These locations are also said to be heavily guarded, which is why we see several AT-AT walkers on the planet and a squad of Death Troopers. These operations to collect the crystals are extremely valuable to the Empire, as without them, the Death Star is unable to fire its laser. In the film, the rebels are forced to launch a near-suicidal mission in order to destroy what crystals they can, and they could also be targeting Imperial transports directly, as the Empire would have a more difficult time transporting them. In a sense, this mission and set piece in the film is not executed by the rebels in order to win, but as a last resort in order to gain just a little more time for Jyn and her crew to steal the plans. This set piece is also said to have a command center where Imperial scientists abide to oversee the project. These could be in fact the large buildings we see in the trailer and the first stop on the rebels' attack list as to cause the most chaos. This mission may also be executed in order to draw Imperial leaders out of the Death Star, as they would be focusing on the attack, leaving the Death Star itself absent of its commanders like Krennic or maybe even Vader, and allowing for easier access. And finally, wrapping it all up, we have a little bit of a smaller piece of news being reported, and that is that Forrest Whitaker's character's name is supposedly Castro. So that was the leak. I really like so far what I'm hearing. The idea that the rebels are really just pulling out all their tricks to buy even the smallest amount of time is really fitting. The fact that all the rebels can do is just attempt to stall and cause as much chaos in order to salvage even the smallest amount of time sounds really intense. It's also a nice touch that Rogue One seems to be taking elements that aren't quite able to be completed in the Clone Wars animated show and reintegrating them into the story. And if this turns out to be true, I cannot wait to see what these massive green crystals end up looking like. It also tells us the rebels are cutting things extremely close, and the only chance is to cause a delay. Another piece that sounds cool is that this may be a tactic to draw the leaders of the Empire out, as the crystals would be a valuable commodity, and they would want to ensure their safety. Overall, if this is true, I cannot wait. The connection that will form between the lightsabers and the Death Star will also be a really intriguing touch, and I hope that it's all true. By the looks of the trailer and Commander Krennic walking among the dead stormtroopers, it's obvious the Empire was victorious, but the idea that the rebels never really planned to win at all would be a great twist for the villains. As a cool side note, we actually know Donnie Yen's character is present during the set piece as well, since he was spotted on the set a while back along with orange crates, which are said to be housing the crystals that will be placed into larger crates, then loaded onto the Imperial transports which we see being destroyed in the trailer. So tell me how you feel about this leak. Do you like the idea that the crystals are returning, and if so, tell me why? Are you happy that they are taking pieces from stories that were unable to be completed and told and reintegrating them in new ways? Thank you as always so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for all Rogue One news and leaks and Star Wars in general. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.